Alright, so as a lot of people have noticed, I've got mismatched headlights on this thing. Luckily, I got some new ones to put on, so let me show them to you. So these are from a company called LOYO LED. They're an 85 watt headlight, low beam, high beam, daytime running lights. We got 4,500 lumens on the low beam, 6,500 lumens on the high beam, which is gonna be way better than that halogen or that cheap LED I got in there. So now let's put them on. So I'm gonna start with the driver's side headlight here, because this one's the most complete, so then I can show you what it'll be like on an actual Cherokee. First thing you're gonna do is pull off the side marker here. Like that. And then we just got to pull off the trim pieces around the headlight so we get access to the headlight bucket and the retainer ring on there. Now yours will probably have more screws in it than mine does. I seem to have lost a few. We'll see if I can replace those when I put it back together. So now that we're into the headlight, the next thing we got to do is take the retainer ring off the outside of the headlight. That's just a Phillips head screw. So here's the retainer ring coming off. And then the headlight. Normally you got an actual plug on the back of the headlight. I just have 3 wires because I had to adjust this wiring harness for my application. Just unplug this guy. Now on the back of the new light here, we got 4 wires instead of the 3 that I pulled off. This one here is going to be for our daytime running light, and we're going to wire that up later. Get in here, luckily my wires stayed in about the same shape. I'm just going to plug them right back in. Oh, you know what? I dropped a screw and I forgot that. Got it. So it looks like my connectors back here are a little loose. I'm going to use these channel locks and squeeze the connectors back together so they don't fall off the light while I'm wheeling. Now we can plug the headlight in. And just feed that connector through the back. Put our retainer ring back on the headlight. Grab a couple of these screws here. So now that I got it pretty much mounted in the truck, I'm gonna go kick my lights on, test the high beam and low beam, and make sure that I got it plugged in the right way. Shouldn't have to do that, but because my wires are all separate, I gotta double check that before I put it all back together. Alright, now it works. So now we just got to put the trim pieces back on and screw it back together and do the other side, and we're done. Alright, so I gave you the step-by-step on the driver's side because that side's complete. Obviously we're missing a few parts over here because rock crawler. So let's get this passenger light slapped in, then I'll show you how to wire up the daytime running lights. Alright, so I'm going to keep wiring the daytime running lights pretty simple. I'm going to run them right into my rock light relay. That way when the rock lights are on, the daytime running lights are on, and I don't have to add an extra relay. This is our plug for our headlight, and then off the plug you got this little wire. This is going to be for our daytime running light. We're going to start by tapping into this one, running it over to the other headlight. So we're going to cut our wire right here to length. Then we're going to take one of these male connectors right here, put this on the end of the wire, plug it into this headlight. So this is where I tie it into my rock lights. I'm going to take my wire here, run it from my relay to my headlight just to make sure I got the right length of wire. Then we're going to take the wire cutters, cut it. Now we're going to strip the end of it just like the rest of the wires. And now I'm going to take my wire from my other headlight and we're going to twist the 2 ends of these together. Now that I got these 2 wires twisted together, I'm going to take my connector, stick it back on there, and we're going to crimp these. So we got 2 wires coming out of the same connector. Take this, plug this into the harness that comes out of the back of the headlight. Make sure we tuck this wire up in front of the radiator so it doesn't get sucked into the fan or nothing. And then this wire here, we're gonna run back to my rock light relay so we can get power to the rock lights and to the daytime running lights all at the same time. So this is my rock light relay. First thing we're gonna do is take the wire coming from the daytime running lights. We're gonna strip the end of that. And we're just gonna set that here for now. Unplug my rock lights. See, I already got 2 wires coming out of there. So I'm actually gonna put these in here and snip this connector right off. Strip a little bit more off of either of these wires. Now we grab the one from the daytime running lights right here. We take all 3 of them and we're gonna twist all 3 of these together. And then I'm gonna take my female blade terminal here. We're gonna jam it on the end of here, even though it's probably not quite the right size for all this wire. Good little twist, gets her in there nice and good. Get it in the crimper and crimp it. Now we're gonna take this and we're gonna plug it right back into our relay. We got the daytime running lights going, and then if we check in the fender well here, we've also got the rock lights. So obviously it's daytime right now, the sun's out, but these things are bright enough that I can show you the cutoff and how bright they really are on the side of my house. So here's our low beam, and then this is gonna be our high beam. So you can see even in broad daylight, these things are plenty bright, and with the cutoff like that, you're not gonna be blinding other drivers on the road. Plus they look pretty sweet. I'd call these headlights a win. So if you guys like these headlights and you wanna pick up a set, I've got the link in the description. Use code Billy10 at checkout to save a little bit of money.